you're in it for money, you need to do him a favor and just find somewhere else to make extra money. You shouldn't be asking that question.
Technically, that was being like asked to me like most of the time. That type of question, how early is too early to be asking that? It's like, not really asking for it, like kind of in a hey, give me money. It's like, because some Filipina are really have that, like, in a like a really tight situation when it involves money. So those who are really came from, who doesn't have job, who can't, like, like having a hard problem making ends meet. So technically they need it. So they are like hoping. It's like, and I see nothing wrong with that. For a Filipina to the kind of like thinking, or maybe I would, like, see and see if I could find myself a foreigner, because of course, the height of Filipina knowing that, oh, there are a lot of Filipina being in a foreigner, and the foreigner help them with their life situation. So if someone, you can't blame the Filipina. If the Filipina is having like a problem, or maybe her education's like, it's like stopping her from, in the Philippines, it's unlike here, in the Philippines you need to have like a degree, you need to have like an experience, and you need to be in a certain age for you to have like a good job. And how much is that good job? It's like, I told you our whole day pay is like our pay here. It's like, and then that salary would go, that day pay would go to what? The transportation, your food, and whatever. So you're just like working to eat. It's like, you do that cycle. So it's like, we can't blame other Filipinas if they, okay, I will go to like this dating site, maybe I will find someone. And this Filipina is like thinking, once we are married, once we are together, I will take care of him. So most of these Filipinas who are in a dire situation, like really, like, like tight with money, even, like, surely they wouldn't like be attracted to like an old guy. But if you have like
You're attracted to an old guy.
I am old to begin with. Oh my goodness, I'm talking about the other Filipinas who would have this mentality of how soon is too soon to be asking or even hinting about money. Because why? Like, some are not really after the money just for the sake of, oh, I need to buy a new iPhone, I need to buy this for myself, a new makeup, or whatever. Some just wanting to like know if this foreigner could like help them have a better situation. Like even eating 3 times a day, because Philippines, there are people who only eat once a day.
So, I get that. But you don't need to be in a relationship just strictly for money. If that's the number one thing that's driving you, then you don't need to be in that relationship. Yeah, so I get what Grace is saying.
Because like, here's the thing. It's like, every time I would have my live, and like, some of those would have like a rebuttal on the comment section that, oh, like, if you want a pound, like, if you want money, then would you work for it? It's like, that's why we are being called like scammer. Here's like the things, like, me, if you went on like the dating site, if you want a foreigner, if you want someone who is like rich, if you want someone who could like get you to be with them in their country, or to someone who could like, make your living situation better, well then go for it. It's like, I am not here passing judgment to anyone. Your reason for having or even going to that dating site is your reason. It's like, no one could ever tell you, oh my gosh, like, you're giving Filipina a bad reputation. We don't know what is like happening in their life.
True.
It's like, if they want to be, if they're like okay getting money for like from the foreigner, that is on them. It's like, if they want to spend that just to like, go drinking, like bar hopping, or even conning the foreigner and being married on the side, that's on them. It's like, but some truth is, especially now that the age of Filipina being like, being interested, like, 18, not even 18, would go on a dating site hoping they could like find someone. So in their mind, it's like whoever comes first, that would be my AFAM.
Yeah.
Because technically, like, you would just be like, at the end of the day, you would fall in love to someone who would like provide for you, someone who could like love you, and someone who could like love your family. We are practical.
True,
If you
true.
could be loved, then good. If you would have like someone who are like good looking and all that, then you're lucky. But if not, hey, the competition is so high.
True. But so what was I going to say?
What is?
I have no idea what I was going to say. Oh well.
Told him, please stop scamming me, sir. Goodbye. Because the second one, at times I really feel bad for like the other foreigners thinking that like the Filipina is like sure, but everyone have like their reasons why they would go for like someone like older, even
I don't know what I
older
was
than
gonna say.
their father, or